Every morning, Emily wiped the same table by the window, humming softly to the tune of the cafe radio. That's where she sat, the fragile old woman with silver hair and trembling hands, always dressed in the same faded blue coat. Emily always greeted her with the same warm smile and the same cup of coffee, 2 sugars, no cream. But that morning, everything changed. The cafe's front door swung open, 4 men in black suits stepped in, scanning the room. Behind them walked the same old woman, now dressed in pearls and silk. The hum of conversation died instantly. Emily froze, tray in hand, as the bodyguards surrounded her. One of the lawyers approached her, holding a thick envelope. "Miss Emily Carter?" he asked. Emily nodded nervously. "The lady you've been serving for months is not who you think she is. She's been looking for you." Everyone in the cafe turned toward Emily. The old woman smiled softly, a smile full of secrets, pain, and something else, gratitude. What Emily didn't know was that this morning would change her life forever. Emily Carter was 26, working double shifts at a small-town cafe named Morning Bloom. Life hadn't been kind to her. She was struggling to pay rent, juggling college debt, and taking care of her younger brother, Jake. Still, she carried a light in her heart that refused to die, a kindness she gave freely to everyone who walked through those cafe doors. 3 months ago, the old woman appeared. Frail, quiet, and lonely. She'd come every morning, sit by the window, and stare outside for hours with sad, distant eyes. No phone, no company, just silence and coffee. Emily noticed her trembling hands one morning as she struggled to stir her cup. Without a word, Emily reached over, helped her, and whispered, "Don't worry, I've got you." The woman's eyes filled with tears. From that day on, Emily made sure to sit with her a few minutes every morning, sharing small talks, smiles, and sometimes silence. "Why do you always help me, dear?" the woman once asked. Emily smiled. "Because the world is already too cold. If a small cup of coffee can make someone's morning warmer, that's enough for me." The old woman nodded, as if those words meant more than Emily realized. Days turned into weeks. The two became unlikely friends. Emily called her Grandma Rose, though she never revealed her real name. Some days Rose would forget her wallet, and Emily would quietly pay the bill herself. Her manager scolded her for it, but Emily didn't care. She'd grown attached to the old lady. Rose often wore the same old shoes, the soles worn thin. So one morning, Emily left a small box under her table, a new pair of shoes and a handwritten note. "For your morning walks. From someone who cares." When Rose found them, she cried silently, holding Emily's hand. "You remind me of someone I lost long ago," she whispered. But Emily never asked who. Some things, she felt, were better left unspoken. Then one morning, Rose didn't come. Nor the next day. Nor the day after. Emily began to worry. She checked hospitals, asked around, even searched nearby shelters. Nothing. 2 weeks later, she convinced herself that maybe the old woman had moved away, until the day the cafe doors burst open, and 4 men in black suits entered. The cafe went silent as everyone stared. The bodyguards' presence was intimidating, their polished shoes and dark glasses a strange contrast to the homely smell of coffee and baked bread. Behind them, Rose stepped in, but she wasn't the frail, forgotten old lady anymore. She looked regal, radiant, and confident, her silver hair neatly styled, her coat replaced by a designer suit. Emily's jaw dropped. "Miss Carter," one of the lawyers said, handing her a folder, "you're requested to come with us. Mrs. Rosalind Thornton wishes to speak with you privately." Rosalind Thornton. The name hit her like lightning. Everyone in the cafe knew that name, the billionaire philanthropist who owned the biggest foundation in the state. But that couldn't be right, could it? Emily followed them outside, heart racing. A black limousine waited. Rose, or rather, Mrs. Thornton, smiled gently. "Get in, dear. We need to talk." In the car, silence filled the air. Finally, the old woman spoke, her voice steady yet emotional. "Emily, I disguised myself months ago to see the world through the eyes of those who serve others. My late son used to tell me, 'Mother, wealth means nothing if you forget kindness.' After he passed, I lost my will to live.
Until I met you. Tears welled up in Emily's eyes. You gave me something no money could buy: humanity. You treated me like a person, not a burden. And you reminded me who I used to be. Mrs. Thornton reached into her purse and handed Emily another envelope, this one smaller, sealed with gold. Emily opened it with trembling hands. Inside was a letter and a document. I've established a scholarship in your name, the Emily Carter Hope Fund, for girls who dream big but have no means. Anne, I'd like you to manage it, if you accept. Emily was speechless. She had helped countless people, but never imagined someone would do something like this for her. But, why me? She whispered. Mrs. Thornton smiled through tears. Because kindness deserves to be rewarded, and you gave it without expecting anything in return. They both cried and hugged. From that day on, Emily's life changed forever. She became the director of the foundation, helping hundreds of young women find education, safety, and hope. The cafe where she once served coffee became a place of new beginnings, where strangers met, stories bloomed, and kindness was never forgotten. And every morning, Emily still ordered a coffee by the window, 2 sugars, no cream, in memory of the woman who showed her that sometimes, helping someone without knowing who they are can rewrite the story of your life.